My golden child sister-in-law demands we invite her other husband to my wedding. He disgusts me. My fiancé and I are getting married at the end of next month. We've agreed to keep it incredibly small and intimate, and we're only inviting 25 of our closest friends and family due to a tight budget and wanting to keep things simple. My fiancé's sister is a miracle child used to being the center of attention, and it's been a real issue for my fiancé his entire life. She's the golden child, and his parents spend most of their time, money and energy catering to her, from driving her to doctor's appointments, to cooking and delivering home-cooked meals, to paying her bills and rent regularly. His parents even used to ask him to go clean her apartment for free for her when he was in college. The current issue with her revolves around her romantic relationships. She's married to a nice man, but also has another, very intimate partner on the side named Alex. Alex is a woman in her early 70s who is married to sister-in-law's cousin. Everyone in the family is aware of the relationship, and it's been going on for several years. I met Alex for the first and only time this past Thanksgiving. Before we arrived, we were told Alex was now identifying as he, and we were all to address him as masculine. Okay, no big deal, especially when I'd never met him before. When we arrived, I was introduced to Alex, and I was surprised to see him wearing a very revealing dress. Alex is very heavyset and older, and this dress had his honkers spilling out and was short enough to make it obvious he wasn't wearing undies. This is the way he chose to dress to a family Thanksgiving. On top of that, it was obvious both by smell and appearance that he had personal hygiene issues. We then had to spend the rest of the afternoon watching sister-in-law indulge in PDA with Alex that was really uncomfortable, while she gushed about having 2 husbands. The whole situation was off-putting and impossible to ignore, ensuring sister-in-law was the focus of the day. It was an awkward experience I have no desire to repeat. As stated at the beginning, when we sat down to do our wedding invites, we were focused on keeping the list incredibly short, which left out several people we would have really liked to include. When we gave an invite to sister-in-law, we addressed it to her and her husband. Future mother-in-law told us we needed to invite Alex as well because of their relationship with sister-in-law. My fiancé told her that sister-in-law only got A+1, like everyone else, and neither my fiancé or I had any kind of relationship with Alex. Aside from the fact we both find Alex incredibly off-putting, and can't trust he'll dress or bathe appropriately for a wedding, we know that sister-in-law bringing Alex will just ensure the focus will be on her and her relationships. My fiancé doesn't deserve that on his wedding day, and neither do I. We thought the matter was settled, but my fiancé had a family holiday yesterday at his parents' house that I wasn't there for. Alex was there, once again wearing a very short dress and in obvious need of a shower. My fiancé made it through the entire evening without the wedding coming up, right until he had 1 foot out the door. As he was walking out, sister-in-law told him, "I have 2 husbands, and they'll both be at your wedding." Fiancé was taken aback, but really had to leave. He plans on sending an email to his sister-in-law and parents explaining that Alex is not invited to the wedding and they need to respect our decision on that. If it comes down to it, we believe that may mean sister-in-law won't be coming to the wedding, and could cause a bit of a rift in the family. My golden child sister-in-law demands we invite her other husband to my wedding. He disgusts me. My fiancé and I were still adamant about not inviting my sister-in-law's creepy, unhygienic and crude partner to our wedding. While my fiancé was trying to figure out what to say to his family about the whole situation, his mother emailed us to make sure we were going to sister-in-law's birthday and to ask if we were getting excited about the wedding. I told my fiancé he clearly couldn't wait any longer to address the situation with his family directly. So he emailed them, clarifying sister-in-law only got A+1 to the wedding, and we needed to make sure that was being respected. He also said we didn't appreciate being told by sister-in-law she would be bringing both of her partners to the wedding without even talking it over or asking us if that was okay. The ensuing meltdown has been ugly to say the least. Mother-in-law began spamming my fiancé with angry and unhinged emails, accusing him of being homophobic, anti-poly, and somehow, anti-Semitic. Sister-in-law has said she won't speak to us. Father-in-law advised my fiancé not to respond to mother-in-law until she calmed down. Over the past few days, she's now emailing him about random garbage, acting like nothing ever happened. Father-in-law asked to talk to fiancé face-to-face today. I thought it was an odd request as they usually just talk on the phone and we live 3 hours away from them. Fiancé had to be in the area for work today, so it was convenient. My theory was he planned to offer to help pay for the wedding so our budget would be a non-issue. Not the case. He actually told my fiancé that they all thought the budget was a big excuse since we hadn't asked them for any financial help with the wedding. He told his dad the whole reason we didn't ask for help was because we wanted to keep this small and simple and have control over the guests and not feel obligated to invite people we didn't want. There. I didn't even invite one of my brothers I don't get along with. Father-in-law agrees that Alex presents a lot of issues, and asked if they could convince him to be more appropriate for the wedding, if that would help. My feeling is at this point it's become such a huge issue, that sister-in-law will go out of her way to make everyone uncomfortable no matter what to prove a point. This is a hill it appears everyone is willing to die on. Sister-in-law still won't talk to us for fear of going nuclear. Father-in-law told my fiancé we all have to figure this out, or it's going to cause a huge rift in their family. I think the damage is already done. No constructive advice was offered. At this point I just want to email them all myself and say it's a non-issue as sister-in-law is no longer invited. Fiancé isn't ready to take that step yet. Edit, my fiancé and I decided to uninvite sister-in-law. We sent the email and we are now getting bombarded. Mother-in-law is stating they plan to just show up anyway, so we plan on getting security at the wedding to make sure the sister-in-law doesn't show up either.